The All Blacks have made a raft of changes to the team to play Canada in their second Rugby World Cup pool match in Oita on Wednesday, with an entirely different front row, midfield and wings. The three Barrett brothers, Beauden, Scott and Jordie, are all in the starting 15, making them the first set of three brothers to start for the All Blacks at a World Cup. Meanwhile, host Japan produced arguably the second biggest World Cup upset when they beat Ireland 1912 in the stunner in Shizuoka on the weekend, with Pool A now anyone's for the taking. Joe Porter is in Beppu and joins us now. Hey Joe, so 11 changes to the team. Tell us some more.
Yeah, that's right, 11 changes. Not unexpected, of course, with the team wanting to rotate the squad between this game and Namibia in just 4 days' time, and, of course, giving some guys a rest after what was a fairly bruising encounter with South Africa, and giving some guys who haven't had a lot of game time, namely wings Rieko Ioane and Jordie Barrett, centre Jack Goodhue and second five Sonny Bill Williams, just a bit more game time under their belt in preparation for what's coming further in, or later in the tournament. Yeah, Atumoli, Liam Coltman and Angus Ta'avao, completely new front row, and again, this is just about getting these guys experienced with the conditions over here on match day, experienced with the pressure that comes with the World Cup and the atmosphere that surrounds it. Shannon Frizzell gets a start at number 6, blindside. He's been rushed into the squad, of course, as an injury cover, so that's a special story for him. In fact, there are 16-odd players making their World Cup debuts against Canada, so a very special game for many people in this team, and a chance for some guys to, I guess, show their wares after having been pushed out of the team earlier in the year due to performances of others.
Joe, we don't want to be overconfident, but playing Canada, what's that like? A bit of a training run?
Yeah, pretty much. Let's be honest. Canada looked very, very poor against Italy. They were beaten by about 40 points in their opening pool game. Canada, unfortunately, look like they've gone back in the last few years rather than forward. So it really will be a training run. In fact, I think some of the All Blacks training runs, in-house ones this week, will have been a lot harder than this Canada match. You'd expect the All Blacks to put at least 100 points on these guys, and perhaps Mark Ellis's record of 6 tries in one Rugby World Cup game against Japan, of course, back in 1995, could well be under threat, with Rieko Ioane, former world breakout player of the year, coming back into the team and looking to, I guess, show what he's capable of after being overtaken by the likes of George Bridge and Sevu Reece. So we're looking for a big game from Rieko Ioane on the wing, for him to recapture the form and recapture the title as the best winger in the world. And yeah, perhaps someone will break Mark Ellis's record, which didn't look possible at the start of this tournament.
Hey, what about last night? Wales and Australia. Okay, so the match, great, but some would say marred by the refereeing. Is there a bit of a theme there, or people being oversensitive about it?
No, I think unfortunately it is developing as the theme of the World Cup, is this over-officious refereeing. Look, we know that World Rugby has a directive to protect the head of players' concussion, being one of their sort of major, I guess, focuses over the last few years, and really these refs are under an enormous amount of pressure to get things right. World Rugby came in and said after the first weekend of Rugby World Cup matches that the referees didn't have great performances, so the referees are feeling it, and there were some bizarre calls last night. I mean, you look at the TMO 10 minutes after the incident had happened, coming back and pinging Samu Karevi, the Wallaby centre, for leading with an arm into a tackle. It was just shocking tackling technique from the Welsh first five, Reece Patchell, that got himself into that position, yet somehow the attacking player was penalised. I mean, we're not playing tiddlywinks here. This is a game where physical strength and violence is really quite overt, and it's part of the game. And unfortunately, we're getting to the point, a tipping point perhaps, where World Rugby are losing their identity with the game. They're not quite sure what's happening, and it's affecting the performances. The refs are under pressure. They're not quite sure how they're supposed to react. And yeah, we saw some pretty bad calls. That was, of course, called up after 10 minutes after the play had gone past, but they wouldn't even go back 10 seconds to check if the Welsh halfback was offside when he scored an intercept try to really turn the match in Wales' favour. So some very inconsistent calls. Michael Cheika and Michael Hooper, the Australian coach and captain, blowing up after the game, saying, what are we supposed to do? Are we not supposed to run with the ball anymore? How are we supposed to run into contact? Are we supposed to just go in and to let them tackle us? What are we supposed to do? This is rugby. And Michael Cheika was equally furious about some of the calls at scrum time. It just seems to be an absolute lottery when it comes to scrum penalties. One goes the other way, one goes another. There's no consistency. And the referees have been copping, a bit of a hiding from all angles, I'm afraid, when it comes to this. And unfortunately, it seems to be developing as the overarching theme of this World Cup is some strange officiating and, referees not having the confidence to do what they normally would, and strange calls when anything comes near the head.
Joe, thanks for that. Joe Porter reporting there from Japan, and we'll be hearing from Joe a lot over the next few days.